Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and today I'm bringing you our next little project that we've done in Betrayal League, featuring Scarabs once again. We decided to chase after the brand new divination card, the Nurse. So the Nurse drops in the tier 15 map Tower, which used to be a tier 9, but now it's a red map, and they've improved the layout quite a bit, and the density is pretty decent as well. So the Nurse card is a pretty insane card. You can trade 8 of them for a Doctor card, so it's basically a little bit of a fragment of a Headhunter. Currently the card is sitting at around 62 Chaos, and it's definitely well worth checking out to farm. So that's exactly what we did. What we decided to do is grab 3 of our main players, so it was me and 2 friends, and then we grabbed 2 people looking for XP, and we jumped into these maps with the goal of farming these cards. So to begin with, obviously we have a massive group bonus, and this is exactly what I would recommend you doing. If you have like decent gear and a support, you can easily grab a few people to come and take the experience and leave the loot for you. It's a very common thing. Or if you just have lots of friends, you guys can just get lots of friends in as well. You're all going to make plenty of money if you do this strategy. So that was the start of it. Next up, how were we rolling these maps? So we decided against rolling these maps just because of the unpredictability and how much towers are actually worth. So towers are worth quite a bit of money. Currently they're worth around 15 chaos, and we didn't really want to brick them, and we didn't want to like have to invest more chisels and stuff like that into them. So what we did is we used 4 chisels on them, get them to 20%, and we rolled them with Alk Scour until they were around 90 to 100% increased quantity of items. So that's very important. I can't overstate how important the base map quantity is. Make sure that's really up there in the 90 to 100, or maybe even beyond if you can get it, range. That's going to really improve your results dramatically. So the next thing we did is obviously we sextoned up the map. Overall, out of the 15 maps that we ran, we got the box divination, the box sextant twice, which is the 500% increased quantity of loot from boxes. So we got that twice, so it was on 6 maps out of the 15, which was pretty good. However, a lot of the maps we ran, we actually noticed that we got nurses just the same in normal maps as opposed to the box maps. So obviously, you should be getting more from those maps, but you're still going to get tons even if you're not running the box mod. However, we did, when we got those box mods, run Monstrous Treasure. So Monstrous Treasure, we procced 2 of them in the 15 map set, and from each of those 2, we actually got 2 nurse cards. So every time we got a Monstrous Treasure, we got 2 nurse cards each of those times. So that was pretty good. We got a lot more nurses than that, though, from just random normal maps. I think the highest count we got was 4 nurses. So yeah, we were rolling all these red sextants on there. In total, over the 15 maps, we spent 154 chaos on red sextants. That's a total of 44 red sextants. So yeah, it was definitely a pretty big capital contribution there. But we didn't just stop at sextants, chiseling, and alking and all that stuff. We also got that scarab action in there. So the scarabs we decided to use were the Gilded Divination Scarab, the Gilded Breach Scarab, and the Gilded Ambush Scarab. So the reason for this is obviously that breaches do drop a lot of divination cards and add a lot of monsters to the map. The ambush ones obviously again add a lot of monsters to the map, lots of good boxes, and they also stack with the 500% quantity sextant modifier, so those are amazing. And then lastly, obviously, I don't need to explain why, but the 300% more divination card scarab is completely insane for this. You're basically getting 3 times the amount straight up of divination cards that you would have. So we're basically, if we ran 15 maps, we essentially ran 45 maps. So you're basically getting free maps out of that divination scarab, so it's well worth using that. Absolutely. So completely, absolutely insane value there. So all up, our expenses after all of this crazy stuff, in addition, we were also rolling Breach or Harbinger as a Zana mod. Our total cost for 15 maps was a mind-blowing 1,068 chaos in total is what we spent on 15 maps. So that's pretty insane. It's almost 100 chaos a map. So pretty crazy investment, but I can definitely say we did make a lot of money in return. So as you're probably seeing in the title of this video, we made 21 nurses back. So that alone completely covers the cost of all the maps. And then we also got a few Divine drops, Exalt drops, and like Tier 16 drops, which was pretty cool in my opinion. So we made insane currency that way, and we definitely capitalized there. In terms of sustaining the maps, we got 12 back from the 15 we ran, so we did lose 3, but that's just because we got so many Hydra maps from running this strategy. So to set up this strategy on your own, what you're probably going to be looking at doing is setting it up as a tier 15 map. So you have a few options. You can either buy the maps, which is probably what I would recommend, or you can try and set your atlas up to sustain them. To do this, what you're going to want to do is uncomplete all the guardians on your atlas, all the tier 15 maps except for tower on your atlas, and then that'll leave you with 2 possible drops for your high tier maps. It'll leave you with tower for the tier 15, and because Hydra is connected to tower, it'll leave you with Hydra maps as well. So it's going to be like a 50-50 split of the maps. So you're going to get some Hydras and you're going to get some towers. And that's just how it's going to go. So in terms of prophecies, we didn't just run Monstrous Treasure. We also ran Bountiful Traps, which is a very underrated prophecy in my opinion. What it does is it adds, I believe, 8 strong boxes to the map. I think Monstrous Treasure puts 30 on the map and puts all the mobs inside, and then obviously Bountiful Traps at 8. So it's about a third as good as Monstrous Treasure. And the mind-blowing thing is it's only 2 to 3 C right now, and there's tons of them out there. I remember like I'm buying like 10 of these at a time, or even more in some cases. Like I have a stash tab full of them. So with this kind of price, you can run them on every map, and you're going to be pretty good to go. And it stacks obviously as well with the box sextant. So it's pretty insane. Get yourself some bountiful traps. They're really good. So a combination of bountiful traps, monstrous treasure, and finally we also ran rats, like the plague of rats, just to add a bit more excellence to the maps, I suppose. So we ran a combination of these just to make sure that we always got a prophecy proc on our maps, and that was going to give us the best returns possible. So yeah, pretty damn good. In total, I'll get to the final part here. So we spent 1,068 chaos, and our total revenue was around 2,800 chaos. So the majority of that was actually from the nurse cards. Obviously, we got 21. They're at around 62 chaos right now. We traded, we headed in 2 sets for doctors, which was pretty cool, and then we sold the rest. So overall, we made around 1,732 chaos. I would estimate the maps took us around 3 hours, but we were running pretty slow. We were kind of like making sure we didn't die or put the wrong scarabs in. I think you could go much faster. But as I said at the start, we had 3 people who were splitting the currency with and the costs with. So after all the costs were calculated, everyone made around 577 chaos, which is not bad for a couple hours work. That's around 6 exalts. And if you're looking at per hour, that's 192 chaos per hour. So yeah, pretty cool. You guys should definitely check out the Divination Scarab. Check out its tower if you want. I recommend buying them as opposed to trying to sustain them, because obviously with such an incredibly high buy-in cost anyway of 1,068, it's not too bad to just buy 15 towers and save your trouble on the Atlas. So yeah, that's going to be this video, guys. Maybe try and check out Tower if you have the capital and the startup fund to try and do it. You can obviously pretty much double your money as a group. Like we almost tripled our investment, which was pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty badass in my opinion. That's going to be the video, guys. Going to be plenty of stuff coming up. That was the Tower video and Divination card Scarab, all that kind of stuff going on there. Big nurse farm. It was pretty fun to do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.